We'll go ahead and get started, and I'm going to give a quick overview of today so you guys sort of know what to expect. First, I'm Brian Mealor. I'm the director here at the Sheridan R E Center. We're going to do some more detailed introductions, I think, before dinner, because we're going to have people a little bit less scattered around and we can have everybody in one central location. So welcome here at Sheridan R E Center. We actually have two different locations. This is our historic YRNO experiment farm, is what most people know it as. We've had ag research pretty much continuously on this exact property for 100 years. If you get a chance to look at some of the old photos here in the barn, you'll see the startings of this station. If you got a program, you've got a map on the back of that program, on the back side of your agenda that is a drawing of the grounds. And just to point a few things out, we've got different stations around the area with gold balloons, where we've got historic photographs that are taken, and that's the same location from where that photograph was taken to give you some perspective. A number of different tour stops that show up on your map, but I'll point them out right quickly because as soon as we get finished with our introduction, we're just kind of going to open it up so you guys can tour around and see what's going on here, and then we'll come back a little bit later and have some more formal presentations in the barn and then at dinner tonight. So the historic white barn was finished in 1916, and you guys, many of you already saw, we have research posters and historic presentations there. If you go directly behind the tents, we've got a wheat variety demonstration, and we've got some wheat varieties that were actually grown here as early as 1917 that are planted. You can kind of see what they look like then, compare them to what they look like now. Back over here by the spruce tree and the locust at the corner of this fence, we'll have some discussion about vegetable production and cut flowers and some more of the ornamental type horticulture that we've got going on here at the station. Back behind where the team of UW horses, how many people came just to see Pistol and Pete? I'm kind of curious. They're kind of more famous than most everybody else here. So back behind the garage where Pistol and Pete are in front of now, there's another station where we've got a number of different native and introduced perennial grasses that are grown for reclamation and for forages. And then feel free to please tour the orchard that we have, and there's some sheep over there. This was a sheep station historically. And then we'll have some shuttles going across the railroad tracks to an area where we've got a number of different cheatgrass management research projects. If you're particularly interested in that, I think Pistol and Pete would probably be willing to take a couple folks over and back so you don't have to walk as well. I'm really excited about the turnout that we have today. We're going to have a number of people that are trickling in throughout the day. We really focus, usually for our field days, we focus on pretty intense discussion of research. And our goals for today are really to focus on celebrating 100 years for this station and 125 years of the Ag Experiment Station in Wyoming, where we've got 4 different centers around the state that each focus on a little bit different geography and a little bit different type of agriculture. And we're just one of those 4 here. So I will say thank you for coming. If you see someone with a shirt on like this, they're here to answer your questions and help direct you to what you're looking for. I guess now that I'm saying that, the other thing I need to point out is there's 3 porta potties right back here. That is an important thing to know. If you happen to wear a shirt like this and you're not part of our crew, then I'm sorry. It was an unfortunate fashion choice on your part today. So thank you. Be sure to stop. We've got a lot of students that are working with us this summer. Ask them what they're doing and what they've learned about. And be sure to stop. If I don't know you, please introduce yourself. I'd like to be really happy to get a chance to visit with you. So up next, I'm going to turn it over to Dean Frank Galey, the Dean of our College of Agriculture and Natural Resources at University of Wyoming. He's going to give us a quick discussion on some campus stuff, and then this is his home country here. So this is sort of a homecoming for him as well. So please help me welcome Dean Galey.
Thanks, Brian. And is that working? Okay, thank you very much. And I'd like to congratulate everybody at the Sheridan R E Center for your hard work. This place looks great. I also got a chance to tour the Adams Ranch over by the college, and it looks great as well. So really appreciate what your team is doing. A number of you are aware that the state's hurting and the university's taking a pretty big budget cut right now. I can tell you as dean that I'm committed to the three-part stool of the land grant mission, which is obviously teaching our students, but also providing service, research, and good practical information for all of you of our producers. A couple things I'd say along that line. We really need our partnership with you all now. Not only to help give us feedback on the kinds of research you want, but also put in a good word with us, with your legislators, with any board of trustee members for the agricultural mission of the College of Ag and Natural Resources. Sometimes down there on the campus in Laramie, they forget a little bit that we have offices in all of our counties on the reservation, and obviously our 4 research and extension centers, and that's the part of the mission I'm most passionate for. We do have a motto in our college. Students are the reason we're here. How many of you are students here at Sheridan? We got a bunch of you. Raise your hands. Boy, if you see some of these folks, stop and engage them. They're doing some neat stuff. Not only are they learning, but they're generating new knowledge that's going to help all of us in the field. So anyway, thank you all. And I'd like to finish. I see at least 2 legislators, at least 1 legislator and a bunch of county commissioners here. If you could raise your hands and be recognized. Bob, thank you for coming down. Thank you all for being here. Mark, appreciate you being a senator. But thank these folks too, because they're here because they support agriculture as well. And we need all of you as partners as we go forward with the Ag Experiment Station. So if you have feedback for us, come talk to me, talk to Brian, talk to any of the staff. And then the last thing I'd like to do is we have staff from all of our centers here. We have our staff from Powell, Canby. If you can raise your hand, we had a great session over in Powell yesterday. Lingle, we have somebody from Lingle. John Tanaka is Associate Director of the system. We have other folks from Lingle. Our new farm manager, Kevin, thank you for being here. And then Laramie R E Center, I think Doug Zaleski is either in the audience or he's with the ponies. He's right here in the audience. Doug, thank you for coming up. It is a system. All of our centers work together, and that's why they're here. Brian, do you want to acknowledge your staff here now, or do you want to go ahead and do that later?
We've got about half of them spread around doing parking, so we'll do it later.
Okay, so we'll acknowledge the staff, but the staff really make this happen. And I'll tell you right now, if it wasn't for the students and staff, you wouldn't have a center. So congratulate them, give them your feedback as you go around. With that, I'm going to conclude. This is a celebration. Despite all the budget stuff, we're still here. The state's been down before, and the experiment station has persevered with your help. And to help celebrate 125 years of the Ag Experiment Station and 100 years here at Sheridan, we have Pistol and Pete over there. That's just a little bit of a celebration thing that the president approved. And so we're trying to get the word out across the state that yes, University of Wyoming is still committed to agriculture. And you're the reason we're here as well. So with that, Brian, thank you. Have a good time today and take advantage of all the demonstrations. So I think you're going to have some fun. I think we've got a couple draft horses pulling a plow and a couple draft horses pulling a wagon. So enjoy.
Thank you, Frank. Just real quickly, it seems like this 100 thing is getting a little out of hand here. So 100 years, 100 degrees. So there is shade. We do have fans over by the tents. There is water here. There's going to be water moving around on some of the little UTVs. Please don't take any chances. Stay hydrated. At this point, let's just say it's kind of a self-guided tour. If you stop at any of those stations that I called out, then there will be someone there to discuss the details of that particular spot with you. And if you're not interested in that and you want to just visit, the barn is a great place to hang out or out here in the tents. So we'll reconvene back down here around the tents at around 5-ish or a little bit thereafter, and then we'll move into some of our other activities. So have a good time, and everybody please learn something. Thank you.